Greetings. I'm Julio Cotto from the National Hispanic Institute NHI Maxwell team. Let me first thank you for registering to volunteer and participate with our 2020 programs and be an active member of the local NHI community work in the 2019-2020 school year. For those of you returning, thank you very much for all your previous service and for being an active member of NHI and for all the countless hours and energy that you've devoted to the organization in previous years. In addition to being a member of the Maxwell team, I'm also an alumnus of the organization with 22 years of active membership. I'm a graduate of the 1997 New Mexico LDZ, and from some of the work that we're doing this year, we're looking forward to possibly returning to the New Mexico LDZ years this coming year in the Albuquerque area. You know, for me, honestly, being a part of NHI really became a major priority for me, something that I devoted more time than I had in studies and in school to because of the year that I spent volunteering and that summer as a junior counselor and gearing up for it. It really involved a year of learning, a year of growth, and a ton of fun. I'm so grateful to the many lessons, including those from this coming season that I already know I'm going to be learning and participating in. So what are we asking this year? We're asking you, your parents, your school community, your community leaders, alumni that you may know, to join NHI's global mobilization campaign. We want you to help us in actively mobilizing a core of new, bright, young, energetic leaders for our communities in the future. And I'm asking you, we're all asking you to participate in this global community learning and training experience. See, through volunteering, recruiting, being part of the outreach process, you're going to learn and gain a lot in public speaking, strengthening and advancing those great debate skills. Organization, you're going to have to work with school districts and school leaders, community leaders, donors, fundraisers, parents, parent organizations, civic groups. Very much to what you test and learn in the LDZ, you're going to have to put it into practice in your local community. Policy, understanding the dynamics of everything from how to reserve a room at your school, to how to set up a presentation, to how do you go about possibly engaging your community civic leaders in some public support for the efforts that you and your friends want to organize. You're going to learn about a lot of different structures and the policies and protocols that go with it. Very similar to a lot of the same leadership lessons that you're going to need to learn, whether you become an executive in corporate America, whether you become an elected official, you run a business, you start an entrepreneurial venture. All of these leadership experiences in the future that are coming your way will involve speaking, organization, policy, a lot of organizational learning. You'll be part of a local and a global training experience. And so this will allow you to really engage other NHIers there in your local community, in your school, on your block. But you know that you will also be part of a 12-month effort that is in 26 states and in 6 Latin American countries. We're all in this venture together. It's also going to allow you to understand how creative can you be, how convincing can you be, and put a lot of those soft skills to work that we know your teachers in particular really find valuable. So how is it that you're going to go about being selected for a summer volunteer role at NHI? Well, you do at least have to do a few minimum things to meet the requirements of even being considered. And that first is you must register to volunteer. So just like you sign up every year to sign up for an NHI program at the NHI website, we're asking that you do the same thing as a volunteer. And if you have that login information and you still remember your password, you can log in right now and click volunteer, and that will indicate to us and to all of our partners and leaders out in the community that you are taking the first step of letting us know that you want to be part of this year-round effort, that you want to be potentially selected this summer. The next step, you're going to have to what we call sometimes cross over. We have very limited spots to go around this summer. Just at the LDZ alone, we only have 60 junior counselor spots. We have roughly the same for JFL fellows at the 6-day programs. And those of you who are very involved with your 4-day programs there in Texas know that not that many actually JFL fellows get the opportunity to get on the bus and be part of the tournament staff at Ambassador or Sherman. We want to make sure that those spots, because they're leadership training development opportunities and they're very sacred, that they go to individuals who are not just doing the volunteer and the service during the school year, but are also taking the next step in their own personal leadership development, which means going to the LDZ and getting an organizational learning policy governance experience, which means finally going through that final step, that capstone of the Collegiate World Series experience, where you're going to get really ready to be a considered candidate for a competitive college. But that same experience goes hand in hand with the IBL learning process of learning how to ask yourself questions, learning how to develop that own social analysis for yourself. That is going to be very, very important as you go to college, graduate school, start a family, and hopefully go back and become an active community leader. So therefore, it's very important that the individuals that are selected to serve as staff in the summertime are those that not only volunteered, but that are taking the next step to continue their own self-development and training. Next, you need to recruit and enroll at least 3 first-time members to the organization. What does that mean, first time? If you're trying to be a JFL fellow with the Great Debate, that means you got to find 3 freshmen that are not only going to sign up, but that are actually going to stick with the program, that are going to work with us here at NHI HQ, that are going to work with the local team, that are going to work with you and your school officials, that we're going to have a conversation with their parents, and we're going to figure out the financing and the tuition, but that they're also going to commit to any training sessions, or they're going to make sure that they're going to be there all 6 days of that Great Debate. Same goes with the LDZ. Now, we know many of you that are 10th and 11th graders, you have friends that did the Great Debate and are eligible for LDZ. That's outstanding, and we encourage you to tell them to register. But to get credit for being a junior counselor, if you want to be potentially selected, you want to qualify, you have to find 3 first-time 10th grade students that didn't do the Great Debate, that want to get involved, or maybe just weren't able to complete the process, or just schedules didn't work out. Talk to them now. Get them involved as 10th graders in one of the 6, maybe 7 LDZ programs. We know it's expensive. We know that it's 8 days. It's a long commitment. That's why we want to start now. We want to start early and work with you so that you can help coach them along the way. And if they apply and they stick with the process and fully enroll, and they are ready to go and fully paid, registered flights, and then you are on your way to being one of the qualified candidates that we can select from in order to be a junior counselor. So how do you register? You go to the NHI website, https://www.nationalhispanicinstitute.org. Visit our main website. If you Google National Hispanic Institute, it'll be one of the first 2 options that pops up. And right there, just as you sign up for a summer program, in that same portal, you can click in the right and select volunteer. You'll go through some basic questions. All of your information should be preloaded. If any changes have occurred, please make sure that you update and let us know. And then hit submit, and that'll indicate to NHI immediately that you've taken the first step. Then we want you to visit our NHI volunteer portal, which is a new part of the website that we are working on and adding to weekly with resources, tools, videos like this one to help you along the way so that you're successful in identifying your candidates, so that if you want to be a volunteer in the summer, that you get that opportunity. Check out the volunteer portal. There's a lot of tools, articles, videos from our founder, and a lot of different steps that you can follow so that you're able to be successful. If you have trouble, if you can't find the information you need, on the volunteer portal, we'll list a list of all of the area managers, myself, my colleagues Chris Nieto, Evelyn Gomez, Dylan Besteiro. We're all responsible for certain geographic areas of NHI's community, which is across the whole hemisphere. If you go to the volunteer portal, you'll get to know who is the person that you are assigned to work with, who's the area manager. For example, I work very closely with San Antonio, Laredo in Texas, parts of West Texas. I serve the whole East Coast, and I'm working this year with our organizations in Latin America. If you get stuck, just give us a call, 512-357-6137. We're here Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 Central Standard Time. And you can also at any point email volunteer@nhiml.com, admissions@nhiml.com, or info@nhiml.com. After you register, we're going to ask you to send in your volunteer form. Now, the volunteer registration form is something that you have completed before if you've been a staff member in previous summers. Maybe your project administrator or local school contact has already shared this with you. Perhaps you've already sent it in. You're right on your way to being a complete eligible candidate for volunteering. This is very important because we want to make sure that NHI is committed to being a safe space. And we're very committed to safety and security, not only of our students, but also volunteers like yourself. And we want you to be protected. And the volunteer registration form allows us to do that. You can download it right now. You can submit it via email. You can fax it, or you can give it to your local area project manager, project administrator. And if you are selected, do know that there will be some additional requirements, some additional training and courses that you will have to undergo before volunteering if you are selected to join one of the summer staff this coming 2020. Now, once you're registered and you find out that you fill out all your paperwork, turn in your form, you'll be contacted by an NHI area manager. Again, like I said, I work with San Antonio, for example. So any student that signs up to be a JFL fellow, to be an umpire, to be a junior counselor, a senior counselor from that community, I will be the person that will be working with you and able to give you updates, let you know if your applicants have registered, let you know where they are in the process, make sure that I've received all your registration forms, and also let you know where you are in terms of your candidacy for volunteering. Again, if you have any questions, you can check out the volunteer portal, but do know that once you sign up, you should be hearing from me, Chris, Evelyn, or Dylan within just a few days. Make sure that you also register for 2020. And again, this is very important. We know that at this time in September, we are still finalizing some of our dates and some of our relationships with universities. We have to be patient. Some of the conference services and policies from campus to campus are different, and their timelines don't always sync up. But we do look forward to confirming all of those dates very soon. Check out the website regularly and the volunteer portal so that you're able to be very informed. Even if you don't know the dates, we do ask that you at least start the process. Get your foot in the door. Let us know that you're interested in one of which site you wanted to attend. For example, we already know that the California LDZ is very, very popular for our 10th grade students from the state of Texas. And we're just not sure that we're going to be able to admit all of them because of just the demand. So if there are programs that you want to attend this summer and you want to be considered, register to volunteer, but you also have to make sure that your 2020 application is on file and that you and I or the other area managers have a chance to start working with you on a plan to confirm your participation. So then what are some final things that you can do? One, you can start to identify a pool of candidates. Think about people in your school that are at the grade level required. 9th grade, they have to have at least a 3.0 GPA. We know that most 9th graders don't have any grades yet, but we do know that in just a few more weeks, those first report cards will come out. We're looking for freshmen that have at least a 3.0 GPA. That's about an 85%. That'll make them academically eligible. For our 10th graders, we want them to have at least a 3.2 GPA, and we know some of them, well, most of them should already have a report card, and we can, at this point in the year, use their 9th grade report card as part of that process. Start to identify those candidates. Think of not only of your class, of your school, but possibly talk to a school leader. Talk to one of your favorite teachers. Talk to the debate coach. Talk to the speech teacher. Talk to some of those advisors or teachers on campus or counselors that really know who are the rising stars and who are the leaders. Start to come up with a list. Even then, keep it there with you in your backpack, in your bag, in a folder. Keep it in a text message or a screenshot. Somewhere where you can identify them. And as soon as you identify, start to drive them to the website. Start talking to them about NHI. And I highly encourage that you visit the volunteer portal and watch some of the videos and sound bites that we've prepared for all of you so you know kind of how to frame your argument. There are actually some from Ernesto, our founder, that actually gives you some talking points on how to talk to someone about the mission of NHI. 2, talk to a school leader, talk to your principal, talk to your counselor. Get their buy-in. Get them to support your goal. And don't just say, hey, I need help recruiting. Let them know what we're really after. Remember that you're part of a global mission here, which is to find opportunities for young leaders who want to be community leaders, for them to have opportunities to train, to grow, to develop, to teach themselves about the intricacies of leadership, advance their skills and capacities. Ask that principal to join you, to join your campaign, to have them be part of your goal, and talk to them that way. And they're going to be, I think, a lot more likely to support you and help you. Start talking to your family, your friends. Sometimes we forget that even within our own immediate family networks, we have educators, school leaders, civic leaders, volunteers, members of PTA, church youth groups. There's so many resources within our own families and communities that we often forget to even go to the people right next to us. Set up a presentation at your school. Get involved locally with any NHI organization, whether it's an alliance or a compact, or give us a call and start one if there isn't one organized yet in your community. And stay in touch. Don't be afraid to text, Facebook, Instagram, email, fax, scan something to the Institute. You know, a lot of us, even though we're here Monday through Friday, a lot of us are working on this mission, sometimes 24/7. And we know that the hours of high school students and undergrads and community volunteers don't always line up in a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday schedule. So please feel free to reach out, even if it's a question about, did someone sign up? Did someone turn in their application? Where am I in the process? Feel free to reach out. And I know my colleagues and I, a lot of us have our information very easily accessible on the website, and we're more than happy to keep that dialogue going, even when it's not always in business hours. So visit the volunteer portal. You'll find a lot of tools there. Some tools that we'll also send you once you sign up, once you register, and we're clear to have you on the volunteer campaign, we're going to send you a packet. In fact, today we're sending out our first batch of packets to JFL fellows and junior counselor candidates that have already registered and said, count me in for volunteering. And we're going to send you a few items in the mail. One of the things that we're going to send you is that we're going to send you we sometimes call the push card, or what we're calling a nominee card. So this nominee card is going to look like this. And right here, there's going to be a perforation right towards almost a little bit lower than the middle of the page. And so the idea is that you get this card, and right here where it's highlighted, you're going to put your name. So if your name's John and I'm Julio, hey, John, I'm putting my full name here, so when you apply, you make sure that you indicate that I, Julio Cotto, was the person that made and recruited Johnny Torres to do the LDZ this year. Make sure it'll help me out because I want to come back as a staff. And so if you like what you heard and you're going to apply, make sure this is the spelling of my name. And why don't you also email me or call me to let me know that you applied so I can follow up on your behalf. What you're also going to do is you're going to have that candidate fill out this prospect card here. And this prospect card is attached to the card. It rips right off. And here what you're going to do is you're going to have, so in this case, I'd have John or Juan sign his information, email, grade, contact information, so that way I can follow up. They get this card, I keep this card. They get my name, and I get their information. And I have to turn this into NHI. In fact, we've even outlined the instructions right here on the back of what you have to do next. And we want to make sure that we can help your campaign. So if you identified a couple of kids at your high school, as soon as we get this information, we're going to send them a personal note. We may even give them a call, encouraging them to apply, which is what we know that you've been after. Also, if you're in a local alliance or compact, be sure that those compact leaders and alliance leaders are also going to say, hey, where are the little papelitos here? Where are the little prospect cards with the information? Because we need to strike while the iron's hot. We need to address any questions. We need to call their parents if they have any questions or doubts about tuition or how this process works. We want to make sure you do that. Now, if someone is highly interested and they're like, I am applying, my brother did this, or I was already pitched, I'm signing up, then you can go ahead and give them a more detailed full-length brochure to take home. We will also send a few of these in the mail. As you can see, they're a little bit higher quality and they're a little bit more expensive. This is designed to go to someone who you already know is highly interested. Someone who's already said, yes, this is something I want to do. You want to give someone a little bit more fuel when they go home to convince their parents to let them do the program. this is the item you want to give. We'll definitely send you a lot more of these. These are a little bit easier, a little bit more portable. And these are for any student that you talk to, get one of these cards back. But if you know that they're already super interested, then you want to make sure that you give them this top card and you send it with this brochure. And as you can see, we have them also for great debate, the brochures and the cards. The information you see here speaks about both the 4 and the 6-day program. So that's it. You're pretty much well on your way to getting involved and be able to be a volunteer. Again, we cannot thank you enough. And just know that you are part of a global campaign. This year, I know we will have about 600 volunteers minimum that will be actively working throughout the Western Hemisphere in getting the word about the importance of investing in community leadership, the importance of investing in young Latinos, the importance of investing in our community's future. And leadership is one of the best ways to do that. NHI, we're proud that we've been at this work for 40 years, and we're more than excited. We're humbled that you are going to be joining us this year in this campaign. Any questions? Call us, email us, go to the website, use the tools that have been outlined for you today. And you can also contact me. Very easy to reach me here at the office, 512-357-6137. You can also email me at jcotto@nhimail.com. Again, Julio Cotto here from the NHI HQ team. Thank you for volunteering. Any questions, please let us know. Good luck to you, and we look forward to seeing you throughout the year in our outreach visits throughout the country and Latin America. And we look forward to seeing some of you at Cele, and definitely a good crew of you this coming summer as part of our leadership core in the summer of 2020. Thank you so much. Have a great, great time out there doing the work.